Okay, so we are going to review solving equations. These are things that you guys learned in 7th grade, 6th and 7th grade. Today is the easy equations. That's the 1-step and 2-step. And the way that we're going to do, if it's a 1-step, all the way, I think it's up to problem number 8, we're just going to do the opposite. So we're going to do inverse operations. Write this down. Okay? And inverse operations, the inverse of multiplication is division. Okay? And the opposite of addition is subtraction. And vice versa. So the opposite of subtraction is addition, and the opposite of division is multiplication. That's how you undo those things. Remember that when you are solving equations, you want to leave the variable by itself. So for problem number 1, I want the m to stay by itself. So what I like to do with all of these is draw a line down the equal sign, okay? Because you are trying to get the m by itself right there. That means we're going to move this over to the other side, okay? And the way that you move it is by doing the opposite. So what's the opposite of positive 12? Minus 12, right? So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides so that this positive 12 cancels. Okay? So in Desmos, you are going to type 10 minus 12. Go ahead, type it. Desmos. 10 minus 12. The answer is negative 2. So right here, this m stays here. M equals negative 2. Okay? Problem number 2. Draw the line. I want g by itself. So leave that one right there. Don't move it. Get rid of the one that's next to it. You're going to move it to the opposite side. What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Okay, so plus 9. Lo opuesto. Plus 9. So that this cancels. Okay? You're going to put this in Desmos. Negative 2 plus 9. So Desmos, negative 2 plus 9. Positive 7. So my answer is 7 equals, bring down the g. So g equals 7. Okay, the opposite. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. Problem number 3. Draw the line. When you have a number and a letter together, that's multiplication. Se están multiplicando. Okay? So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides. That line means to divide by that number. So negative 7, negative 7. We're dividing. In Desmos, you're going to divide so that it can get rid of this negative 7. Okay, when you get rid of the negative 7, now you just have y left over equals whatever that answer, whatever you get for that answer in Desmos. So everybody in Desmos, you're putting negative 91 minus 7. So negative 91, divided by negative 7. oops, negative 91 divided by negative 7. So my answer is a positive 13. Okay? And if you don't understand something that I'm doing, just raise your hand so that I can help you. Because in a little bit, you're going to do quizzes over this stuff. And you're going to have to do the procedures by yourself. All right, now, this one is division. Se está dividiendo. So what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So I'm going to multiply, okay? Multiply both sides by 9. Multiply both sides by 9. This one cancels out. Okay, se cancela. That A is by itself now. A equals whatever that gives you. So you're going to put that in decimals. Negative 4 times 9. And remember, if I'm going too fast, you just pause. Negative 4 times 9. The answer is negative 36. Negative 36. Okay? Now, on these 4 that are next, I'm going to do 2 and you're going to do 2. Okay? It says fractions. To get rid of a fraction, multiply by the reciprocal. Oops, that's a C. Hold on. Reciprocal. So example, the reciprocal of A over B is B over A. These are reciprocals of each other. You just flip it. Se voltean. That's the reciprocal. So right here for problem number 5, this is a fraction. To get rid of the fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 3 over 2. You just flip. So multiply by the reciprocal, 3 over 2. Why? Because these cancel. Okay, they're going to cancel. I'm going to show you in decimals how they cancel. 2 divided by 3, arrow over, times 3 divided by 2. They cancel. It gives you 1, just 1x. That's what we want. Okay? So I'm just showing you how it cancels. You don't have to do this. But we are multiplying 10 times 3 over 2. So 10 times 3 divided by 2 gives you 15. This is your answer. Okay? So let's write that down. X equals 15. Okay? You're going to do this one right now in a little bit. Let me do number 8 with you. Okay? We're going to multiply by the reciprocal because it's a fraction. They're multiplying, so we're going to get rid of it. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is negative 5 over 6. Just flip the 6 and the 5. Se voltean. Negative 5 over 6. So this is going to cancel. And it leaves you the k by itself. K equals. And then you put this in decimals and it will give you the answer. So 12 times negative 5 over 6. 12 times negative 5 divided by 6. Okay? Your answer is negative 10. So pause the video. I want you to try 6 and 8. 6 and 8 by yourself. Okay, so if you paused the video, you should have had time to do 6 and 8. If not, make sure you pause it, because I'm moving on to the bottom ones. On these, I'm going to do 2 and you're going to do 2. This is 2-step equations. When you have 2 steps, first you do addition or subtraction, and then you do multiplication or division. Why? Because you are trying to get that x by itself. So you need to move this away first and then get rid of that 6. So what's the opposite of addition? Lo opuesto de sumar? Subtract. So it's going to be minus 8 so that the 8 cancels. What's 50 minus 8? 50 minus 8. 50 menos 8. 42. 42. Bring down the 6x. Okay, this comes down. 6x equals 42. Now I have multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6 so that the 6 cancels. So in the calculator, you're doing 42 divided by 6. 42 divided by 6. The answer is 7. Okay? X equals 7. Let's do one more. I'm going to do number 12. Number 12. I want the y by itself. The y is being multiplied by the negative 3. So you do not get rid of the negative 3 first. You're going to get rid of the 7 first. Cancelas el 7 primero. So how do you get rid of the 7? Do you add or do you subtract? Subtract. Le vas a restar. Take 7 away from both sides so that it cancels. Okay? In the calculator, you're doing 34 minus 7. In decimals, 34 minus 7. What did you get? 27. Equals, bring this down. The minus 3y comes down. Negative 3y. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. You're going to divide both sides by negative 3 so that the negative 3 cancels, and that leaves you the y by itself. Y equals. So in the calculator, you're going to put 27 divided by negative 3. 27 divided by negative 3 gives you negative 9. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, and I want you to do problem 10 and problem 11. Okay, I'm going to be walking around checking number 10 and number 11, so ask me questions about those. And when you finish, you need to start the quizzes. So you're going to go to joinquizzes.com, and I'm going to put the code on the board.